Hello S&T Hub viewers. Today we're diving into one of the most mysterious and sometimes most painful aspects of our brains, a condition that can profoundly affect any of us, the inability to experience pleasure, known scientifically as anhedonia. Imagine this for a moment. Before you sits a visually stunning cake made with your absolute favorite ingredients. You take the first bite with great anticipation and enthusiasm, but you feel nothing. No taste, no delight. It's as if you're chewing on flavorless cardboard. While the people around you are savoring the same cake with obvious enjoyment, you simply cannot understand why you're unable to experience even this simple pleasure. This disturbing, gnawing numbness is the very essence of anhedonia. So why does this condition occur? What exactly is happening inside our brains? And most importantly, is there a way out of this dark tunnel? Let's delve into the depths of anhedonia together, guided by the light of science. First, let's clarify what anhedonia is. In its simplest terms, anhedonia is a marked reduction or complete loss of the ability to take an interest in and derive pleasure from activities that are normally enjoyable. This is far deeper and more debilitating than just saying I'm feeling down today. It's the blunting of the capacity to enjoy listening to your favorite music, eating delicious food, spending time with friends, engaging in hobbies, essentially, the ability to find joy in life itself. While many people experience periods of lost interest, anhedonia is a much more persistent, long-lasting form that significantly impacts a person's quality of life. Although it's often recognized as a core symptom of major depressive disorder, it's not exclusive to depression. Anhedonia can also be seen in conditions like schizophrenia, Parkinson's disease, various anxiety disorders, substance use disorders, and even some chronic physical illnesses. So why do some people experience this tasteless cake phenomenon, this profound lack of feeling? The answer lies hidden within the complex workings of our brain's reward and motivation systems. Under normal circumstances, when we engage in an enjoyable activity, be it a tasty meal, a meaningful conversation, or a successful project, regions of our brain known as the reward center, particularly structures like the nucleus accumbens, become active. A key player in this activation is a neurotransmitter called dopamine. When dopamine is released, the brain essentially sends us a message saying, "That was great, you should do that again." This mechanism forms the foundation of our motivation, our drive to act, and our ability to set goals. In anhedonia, however, this reward system malfunctions. A person might participate in an activity, but their brain fails to produce the expected pleasure response, or the response generated is very weak. The prefrontal cortex, the front part of our brain responsible for planning, decision-making, and regulating our behavior, also plays a critical role in calculating the potential value of a reward. It's thought that in anhedonia, the communication between this prefrontal cortex and the reward center is also disrupted. The individual struggles to find the motivation to initiate tasks because their brain can no longer anticipate or feel the satisfaction that the potential reward might bring. However, the biochemistry behind anhedonia is too complex to be reduced solely to dopamine. Research indicates the picture is much larger. For instance, decreases in the levels of GABA, the brain's main inhibitory neurotransmitter, imbalances in the serotonin system, which regulates mood, and even reduced activity in the endogenous opioid system, our body's natural painkillers and pleasure inducers, have all been linked to anhedonia. In short, disruptions at many different points in this delicate chemical balance within our brain can directly impact our ability to experience pleasure. One of the most intriguing and surprising findings to emerge in recent years is the strong link between chronic low-grade inflammation in the body and anhedonia. When our body fights off an infection or deals with intense stress, our immune system releases chemical messengers called cytokines. While organizing the immune response, these cytokines also send signals to the brain, triggering a set of changes known as sickness behavior. We feel fatigued, lose our appetite, withdraw socially, and yes, experience a noticeable decrease in our ability to feel pleasure. Scientific studies show a direct correlation between increased levels of CRP, C-reactive protein, a common marker of inflammation measured in blood tests, and the severity of anhedonia. Research published in prestigious journals like Molecular Psychiatry supports this connection. The prolonged fatigue, lack of motivation, and general malaise experienced by some individuals after a COVID-19 infection, or the depressive symptoms and anhedonia sometimes caused by certain cytokine-based drugs used in cancer treatment, are further concrete examples supporting this crucial link. In essence, inflammation in our body can directly affect our mood and our perception of pleasure. So amidst all these complex mechanisms, is there a glimmer of hope? Can anhedonia be treated? Yes, although anhedonia can be a challenging condition, even undermining a person's motivation to seek treatment. Sometimes, standard medications used for depression might improve other symptoms while overlooking or even inadvertently worsening anhedonia. But science is constantly advancing, and there is always hope. As the specific neurobiological mechanisms underlying anhedonia become better understood, more effective new treatments and medications specifically targeting this loss of pleasure are being developed. If you or someone you know have noticed a prolonged inability to enjoy life as you used to, a deep sense of emptiness and numbness, please do not dismiss it as something that will just pass. This is not something to be ashamed of. It is a medical condition with biological underpinnings that can be overcome. Seeking help from a mental health professional, a psychiatrist or clinical psychologist, without delay is the most critical and valuable step towards getting an accurate diagnosis and starting the most appropriate journey to recovery for you. Experiencing pleasure is one of the cornerstones of living a full and meaningful life. Being able to enjoy a bite of food, a moment shared with loved ones, or something new we learn enhances our resilience in facing life's inevitable challenges. Anhedonia may shake or even dislodge this cornerstone, but remember, with the right support, patience, and appropriate treatment, it is possible to rediscover pleasure, to essentially relearn how to be happy. And that effort is undoubtedly worth every bit of the struggle. Thank you for watching S&T Hub. Remember, your mental health is just as important and valuable as your physical health. Until we meet again with new scientific discoveries in our next video, stay curious, stay with science.